In a region marked by escalating tensions and simmering conflicts, the United States finds itself grappling with an intricate web of challenges in the Middle East. The days of hoping to prevent the Israel-Gaza conflict from sparking a broader regional war seem long gone, replaced by the urgent task of preventing an already complex situation from spiraling out of control. President Joe Biden, faced with the recent deaths of 3 Americans in an attack by suspected Iranian proxy forces in Jordan, now confronts the delicate balancing act of responding to the aggression without plunging the region into a wider war. While holding Tehran responsible for supplying weapons to the perpetrators, Biden is cautious about expanding the conflict, stating, "I don't think we need a wider war in the Middle East. That's not what I'm looking for." However, the reality is that the US is already entangled in a multifaceted conflict in the broader Middle East, challenging Biden's efforts to de-escalate. Previous strikes against Iranian-backed militias, attacks on shipping in the Red Sea, and military actions in Yemen and Syria have failed to quell the rising tensions. The catalog of violence extends beyond the Israel-Gaza conflict, encompassing Hezbollah's low-grade war against Israel, Houthi attacks disrupting global supply chains, and strikes against various targets linked to Iran. The situation is further complicated by Israel's expansion of its own war, including a drone strike that heightened tensions in Lebanon. Despite the severity of the situation, controlled escalations have, so far, prevented worst-case scenarios. The measured responses have fostered an impression in Washington that Iran, like the US, aims to avoid a full-scale regional conflagration. Secretary of State Antony Blinken acknowledges the volatility, stating, "I would argue that we have not seen a situation as dangerous as the one we're facing now across the region since at least 1973, and arguably even before that." As Biden contemplates military options, hawkish voices outside the White House, including Senator Lindsey Graham and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, advocate for a strong response against Iran. The political context at home adds pressure on Biden not to appear weak, especially with accusations of appeasement from GOP critics. The dilemma for Biden lies in finding the delicate balance between deterrence and avoiding disastrous escalation. The US response is expected to be more potent than previous strikes, but the challenge is to send a strong signal without putting US forces at greater risk or triggering a major regional war. Amidst this, a potential diplomatic breakthrough for a ceasefire in Gaza raises hopes. However, Biden must navigate these delicate diplomatic waters without upsetting the fragile progress as he weighs military options. Biden's decision-making is inextricably linked to the domestic political landscape, with the specter of Trump's accusations of weakness looming over his 2024 election prospects. The call for decisive action against Iran adds to the complexity, as the US strives to assert power without escalating the conflict into a dangerous and uncontrollable situation. In this unfolding drama, Biden faces an unanswerable question: how can he assert his power in a widening regional war without making the conflict more perilous and prone to spiraling out of control? As the president grapples with this challenge, the eyes of the world remain fixed on the Middle East,